My father had a stroke back in February, and when he was done with his hospital stay in the Bronx, I had to look for a rehab center that was closer to my home so that it would be easier for me to help with his care.
My father was here twice for knee replacement therapy.
I was a bowler, an avid bowler, and it killed me to give it up because I was fairly decent.
It had really become to a point where it was a surgery or consider being in a wheelchair the rest of my life.
I had a bad knee that I couldn't really walk for about 5 years.
My life was terrible. When you look at a pain scale, when they say from 1 to 10, a good day was a 5.
I could hardly walk. You know, I was grabbing onto things and I was in pain all the time.
I had arthroscopic surgery and it was determined that eventually I would need knee replacement.
When he got here, he couldn't swallow, he couldn't speak, he couldn't walk. And by the time he left, he was here for a little while. By the time he left, he's now able to swallow, he's able to eat regular food. He is taking steps with the use of a cane. So from the time he got here till now, his transformation is pretty incredible.
They just didn't make me feel like a patient. They made me feel like I was Maria Stieglitz. And, you know, how can we help you? And this is what we think you should do now. And they listened to me. That was very important.
The woman who took care of me there, she was really a taskmaster, but always pleasant. She wouldn't take no for an answer. She pushed, and you know, a situation like this, that's really what you want, is somebody who's pushing, but in a caring way.
I mean, the caring and the consideration for the people is unbelievable.
The one-on-one I thought was very, very effective. He got to know my abilities, my expectations, and he worked with me side by side every single day, and just that alone was well worth it.
Dealing with the same therapist is definitely key because they can see your progress as you're moving along. So when you have different therapists, I mean, they can see you doing something, but they don't know how you've progressed. When they see you on a day-to-day basis and see how that you're progressing, it definitely makes all the difference. Because when I actually started to walk without a cane, that first day when I showed Sid, and the first words he came out of his mouth were, I could tell from the first day you were trying to walk on that leg and to try to get yourself up as, you know, and get going as soon as possible.
I had a wonderful physical therapist and we worked very well together. And one day she told me she came to my room and I was sleeping. And she said, actually, she said, I came up twice and you were sleeping and I figured you needed it. And the third time I was up and I went down with her, but I thought, my gosh, she let me sleep? You know, she has a schedule to maintain. But she was so sensitive and she figured you must really need it. And it was that kind of thing.
The exercise room is really good. You have people that interact with you on a daily basis. You have a doctor on call constantly. And most important was the friendliness. You know, you don't get this everywhere, but that was one of the main reasons he came back here, because I felt that this is where he should be.
The doctor that owns the facility, he would come into the physical therapy room every day. He knew us by our names. He would say, Arlene, how are you doing? Is everything all right? Do you have any complaints? He was just very friendly, and it was nice to see that he was hands-on.
You're in your own home over here, you know, that you can get to do what you want, but as long as you meet their expectations on doing what they need you to do for you. But it's like being free in here, you know, and the grounds are incredible.
When my family arrived here, they really thought they were in the wrong place. They pulled up and they really thought that they were at a 5-star resort. Just from an appearance standpoint, they were amazed, and just walking into the facility itself, they were extremely impressed with just the layout and the cleanliness.
It didn't feel to me when I first approached the building that I was approaching a clinical type facility. And then when you got in and you saw how comfortable it was and how pretty it was and how accommodating it was. I mean, everything's about the family and the patients.
Glengariff has a 7-star standard. It's beyond 5-star. You don't walk into a rehab and see the sort of a setting. I mean, it's like walking to a Las Vegas hotel. I mean, it's lovely. It's nice. The people are sweet. I mean, you've got great facilities. The amenities are new. They're not old. I mean, it's got a standard cleanliness, you know, politeness, and And you look around you, everybody's a professional, and that's what you feel, that's what you want. You walk into any rehab center, that's the kind of feeling you want to have.
And when you're in an environment that is beautiful and clean and colorful and bright, it helps you to get better. So this is the place where you can get better.
Can't say enough about the room. Overlooking the sound, beautiful landscaping, cleanliness, you couldn't ask for anything better.
I had a friend who had gone to a facility, and it was his second knee, so he had been to another facility, loved it, but it was too far for his wife to travel. So he went to one close to home, and they sent him down a basement, which looked like a basement, and it was part of a nursing home. And they sent him down the basement, and there were like 6 people. They walked in a circle, and that was it.
I was at another facility, and so I had an opportunity to compare, and this was by far the best, and I would rate it at 100%.
From the moment I walked through the doors, I knew this was the place I wanted to stay. Everybody was so nice and friendly. I liked the atmosphere, and I just knew this had to be the place I needed to stay after I had my surgery.
They're remarkable. They know what they're doing, and they really take you from being pretty much wheelchair bound to being able to walk. And I mean, I don't even realize I have a replacement in my other knee that was done a year ago.
I own 5 bakeries, and they got me back to work within like 3 weeks at 120%, with my knee, bending my knee to 120%, and I went right back to work.
Today it's 3 months since my second surgery, and I'm gardening, I'm swimming, I'm walking my dog, I'm going up and down the steps. I have no pain. I went to see my surgeon yesterday, and I walked, and he said, "You're perfect." I said, "Of course," you know.
And because of them helping me, and I was in physical therapy 2 hours a day, 5 days a week, and once on Saturday, I was able to go home and take care of myself.
The last 8 months, I'm back to 100%. I am literally pain-free. I'm back to cycling almost on a daily basis. I'm playing golf, and even though running was the problem that why I had to have a knee replacement surgery, I'm actually starting to jog a little bit every couple of days.
What you want to do is come to a place where you know that it's going to get you back on your feet, and that is exactly what Prep Pavilion is going to do.